Okay, so I heard a massive...
Now, as soon as you get up, we're here live and get them information.
Actually,
we understand she's on the telephone. Marcella, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we're right here. We're trying to get away.
Oh, your signal just went out. Okay. You're looking live, folks, tuning in to what has apparently happened. A plane has crashed into one of the World Trade Towers. We're not sure if that's building number 1 or 2, but obviously a lot of black smoke. We don't know what size plane that was, whether it was a Cessna, a Piper, or even larger. Here's a close-up view as one of our Metro cams zooms in on the actual scene. You can see that plane has definitely affected multiple floors, at least 1, 2, possibly 3 floors, and further. Apparently there's smoke on the right side of the building as well as on the back side. Now we're again trying to get in contact with Marcella Palmer. We're sending numerous crews to this story. This is a major story that's happening live.
Well, you're looking at it for the first time, as are we, so bear with us as we try to piece together exactly what's happened. Again, these are reports that we're getting now that a plane is in fact what had crashed into the World Trade Center. We, from what we see, can't really imagine it being much else, but these are, again, only reports as you look live at the scene.
Michael, our producer, is just telling me that we understand it's possibly a 737 jet that has crashed into tower number 1 of the World Trade Center building. Possibly a 737 jet that just crashed into tower number 1 of the World Trade Center. We understand. Go ahead.
We're just hearing now how tight the streets are, how narrow the area to navigate is for drivers as well as for pedestrians. So quite a scene down there right now toward the financial district. Again, it's Tower 1?
Yes, tower number 1, World Trade Center, tower number 1. Obviously the upper floors there. We're not sure where that plane was originating from. We're not sure if it was trying to land, which airport. Of course, we're working on that. You still see some fire, fresh fire from another part of the building there as we zoom in on our cameras there.
We have Marcella Palmer now joining us with a little bit more information. Marcella, where are you and what can you tell us?
Marcella?
Marcella, you there? Okay, apparently we're still trying to establish connection with Marcella Palmer as she works the scene. You can hear in the background there, though, some of the chaos as you would imagine would be going on in that area. Heavy area for commuters, heavy area for commerce.
And not to mention the thousands of people who work at the World Trade Center. Debris was seen falling to the street below, which makes sense considering that impossible 737 jet may have crashed into World Trade Center tower number 1. This just happened, folks. You're looking live at our cameras at the billowing black smoke from multiple floors. We understand, I'm sure, rescue crews, the mayor, everybody's on their way down there to find out more details on this. And we're placing as many calls as we can to find out more details. And of course, we're going to stay on the story and bring you the details as soon as we get them.
Taking a look right now, if we could, just from the Associated Press, they're coming across with bulletins now confirming that it was a plane that has crashed into the World Trade Center. Again, this is according to the Associated Press as we gather our own people down there at the scene, taking a look at what's going on in front of you. You're seeing it, folks, for the very first time, as are we. A reminder that what we're able to see from our fixed-mounted cameras at points all across the city are just what you're seeing right there, that apparently, from the reports, again, by the Associated Press and from what you're seeing, that a plane, possibly a 737 jet, hit Tower 1 of the World Trade Center in the financial district. Reports that debris falling to the ground. And that's where we are with the story right now as we continue to effort some more information for you. We have Marcella Palmer working the scene. You heard just a moment ago. We were unable to establish clear connection with her, but you were probably able to hear through her cell phone that there's quite a bit of commotion.
Sure. And we have Trapper 2 on the way as well. Jim Smith is flying there as we speak to try to get a closer look and to see what else is going on there. You can imagine the entire buildings, all of the World Trade Center being evacuated immediately, as well as the area around there. So traffic, as you mentioned, Michael, of course, is going to be chaotic for the rest of the day, no doubt. Again, folks, we're looking live at an unbelievable scene, absolutely unbelievable scene, harkening back to the bombing, of course. This is not a bomb. We understand that a plane, an actual airplane, has crashed into the World Trade Center, tower number 1, building number 1. As you look at an eerie shot there of the Empire State Building to your right and the World Trade Center to the back, with the black smoke billowing out of the top stories of the World Trade Center Tower number 1.
Quite a sizable hole, as is quite apparent there. Unable at this point to see any pieces of plane or anything that would indicate to us that it was in fact a plane. Again, we are going on reports, and clearly up at that level, it's hard to imagine it could be anything else at all. The reports of the debris falling to the ground. We have working hard right now to talk with the FAA, the Port Authority, to get any information to you as far as what plane, what type of plane, who's involved, how many people in the building. Marcella Palmer working it from the ground.
It obviously, though, Michael, is a large plane, if indeed it was. I mean, that's what we're getting a confirmation on that, because you can look and see how many sides of this building were damaged, and the smoke is amazing. All looks like, apparently, at least 3 sides, if not all 4 sides of the World Trade Center building have been damaged by this collision. Unbelievable scene, folks. I'm sure you're bringing back memories of about, what, 1990 World Trade Center bombing. We're getting somebody. We have somebody on the phone. We're working on it. Okay.
Our information center is now working on contacting somebody on the phone. We don't want to add any more confusion to the mix. However, we are under the advisement now that CNN has spoken to who they believe was a witness who has told them that it was a twin-engine plane that perhaps hit the World Trade Center. It's a witness report only. I want to emphasize that. That's the story that CNN is able to help us compile at this point. But as you can see, a very, very fresh and horrible scene as the smoke just billows from the top section of the Tower 1 of the World Trade Center.
110-story building is what Tower 1 is, and you can see it's obviously on the upper levels of Tower 1. We're trying to effort information, folks. This just happened. Again, as Michael just mentioned, CNN is quoting a witness who says that he or she saw a twin-engine plane flying right into the Trade Center. Unfortunately, we do not know at this point where that twin-engine plane or where that airplane, we're not sure if it's a twin-engine 737, may have originated from, where it was heading, which of our 3 airports. Obviously, this is going to affect airport traffic as well, as the entire city comes to a standstill right now as we look live at an apparent plane that has crashed into the World Trade Center.
So we're giving you every possible angle that we can come up with as we have fixed cameras all across the city, taking a live look. We're looking at it along with you for the very first time, the heavy black smoke pouring from the top of this building. Reports now that a plane of some type has impacted the World Trade Center. Crews always on the way, working as hard as we can now to get you more information.
All right, we're jotting down notes as we get them. Do we have that person ready? Okay. We're efforting, folks. What I'm talking to my producers as well is trying to get information. As we're efforting information, we're trying to reach witnesses who may be there live at the scene and able to give us a first-hand account. Witnesses, we do understand from the Associated Press, reported hearing a huge explosion. Also, more eyewitnesses saying they saw a small commuter plane crash into the building. So we're getting 2 accounts there, Michael, from witnesses, according to the Associated Press, who saw a small plane. So perhaps that's indeed what it was. It doesn't matter. The extensive damage has been done. Not sure, again, of any injuries, albeit there have got to be several, obviously, from looking at this. We're trying to get that again. Marcella Palmer on her way. Talked to her by cell phone. Unfortunately, her cell phone got disconnected. Go ahead.
We're just saying that we're now getting reports from the Associated Press that witnesses reported hearing and seeing that huge explosion, heavy smoke, as you see there billowing from the top, and several witness accounts now kind of siding with the CNN version of the story that it was a twin-engine plane. Not to say that we know for certain. We don't want to make any assumptions, especially this early on, as you take a look at it along with us as we're piecing together the information for you as it's developing. Understand right now, though, we do have somebody joining us on the phone.
Yes, Paul Schwinger is on the phone live to tell us what he saw. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Go ahead, take it away. Where were you and what did you see?
Well, I was in my apartment pretty much right under the flight path of this plane in the village. And I heard this really, really loud noise go by, and I thought it was an Air Force jet on display. So I looked right out the window, and I saw this twin-engine plane fly right over my house, and it was losing altitude. And then I saw the impact and the explosion, this huge ball of flame. And the plane looked either like a 737 or an Airbus.
737 or an Airbus. Okay, yeah. I understand you're an airplane aficionado?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we mean by that?
Well, I couldn't really tell because by the time I looked up, I saw 2 engines, and it was, a smaller cell plane. But by the time I looked up, it was already right over my house and just in front of me, so I couldn't tell the difference between the 2.
All right, 737 or an Airbus, according to Paul Schwinger. Now, you heard a loud boom. You heard the boom?
Yes, I heard the boom, and I saw the ball of smoke go up. But that was the impact with the World Trade Center. I didn't hear a boom before that. I just heard very loud jet engine noise.
Okay.
Probably because it was so low.
Right. Losing altitude.
And it was losing altitude at the time.
Gosh.
Sky's looking very clear too. And Paul, we understand that you're something of a flight aficionado,
Yes.
so you have some experience.
Right.
What does your experience tell you may have entered into what you're looking at here with such clear skies?
Possibly some form of engine failure or control failure.
Do you ever see any type of air traffic in and around your area that?
Well, routinely, this is a routine pattern to come into LaGuardia. The flights